I think in the next few days, as we discover the election results, number one, social media is a huge piece that we need to make sure in what we're doing on social media is not putting gasoline on a fire, but instead is monitoring and being much more diplomatic in our language and how we're doing. If we're a winner, being a gracious winner. If we're a loser, not trying to lash out and to do things that we might do as a loser. So social media becomes extremely important because that's where we see a lot of the real misinformation, divisiveness occurring, whether on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever may be there. The way people get on those various tools, they're acting in ways that are not helpful for the community. So I think everybody needs to examine what they're saying and then take initiative to really create a calmer space on any of those entities. I think it's important to reach out to folks that maybe you didn't agree with and, hey, can we do lunch next week? Or can we do it? And, go ahead and do it on election day before you even know the results of saying, hey, let's plan on getting together next week, just to force you to kind of still be around folks that maybe weren't exactly like you so that you don't create a kind of echo chamber of anger, that only you're just around people like you that are upset because you lost, and therefore you're getting more and more extreme as you're around that echo chamber. Really try to reach out and branch out and interact with folk that may have had a different perspective or voted differently from you. I think the overwhelming numbers of folks in our American society really do want similar things. They may have different approaches to them, but they want similar things. Oftentimes it's the extreme. We've seen this in polling. They're the extremes on both the left and right who actually need each other to continue to function in their way and raise money and do everything they want. They're the ones agitating in a lot of ways what else happening in the overall culture. But a good probably 60 to 80% of the middle ground, if you want to call it that, really do want similar goals for society, whether it's living in wonderful communities, making America strong, doing the kind of things that we kind of all agree upon. I think a good 60-80% of folks really can get together and work together. And we see polling that says, they're even in agreement on certain decisions that the government needs to make. It's the extremes that in order to keep them functioning and keep money flowing to them, they try to agitate on either side. And I think we're going to need folks in the middle to sit there and say, no, these are the results of the election. This is how we need to move forward. And we need to do what's best for America and that we can come to agreement on it. Regardless of whatever the outcome happens of the election, I think we need to realize that the opposition is not some evil dynamic that we're kind of opposed against. Instead, we need to see what is good. We need to see kind of agreement across the aisle, and we need to take leadership in what we're doing. We want everything to be fair and upright, and so we need to oppose anything that isn't fair and upright. But beyond that, whatever the election results should be, we should be reaching across the aisle and be willing to do whatever we can to make this country good.